It's Andrew Shacken time. Andrew Shacken time show. Andrew Shacken show. Andrew, what's going on, man?
Well, this is the deal, Neil. We left off on the extremely sensitized topic of gay marriage and gay behavior in the position of the Catholic Church and other churches. Some churches are okay with it. I respect them. But I did say, I want to say a couple of things that the church takes its, to a certain extent, takes its views from Holy Scripture and from tradition also,
Right.
and from other writers like Augustine or whatever, the great Christian thinkers of the world. And the church's position is not anti-gay or anti-women or anti-anything, but
Right.
it is a distinct institution, and we take the position. And this is not an insult to my gay brothers and sisters. I have many gay friends. They're fine people. I have no issue with them. I have problems with my own sins. So I'm not looking at anybody else's particularly, Neil, but I'm not sitting in judgment of any human being. But according to the church doctrine, gay behavior is considered a disorder and sin. And I can't change that because I think that's it. I hope our gay brothers are not offended by this and are welcome in the church in every way, 100%. But their behavior, in fact, is not approved officially. And second, I want to comment on Pope Francis's civil unions, same-sex unions. He holds a very high position in society. I don't, Neil. I'm a regular person
Right.
out there, earning a living and supporting themselves to the best of their ability. But I have to say that I discussed this with another professor on my show. I have a podcast show. Another professor from a seminary, a Catholic seminary, a
Mhm.
very knowledgeable gentleman. I'm not going to give his name because he may want people to know about it. But he disagreed with me. But I say that Pope Francis is really saying, he doesn't say civil unions for anybody. Does he, Neil?
No.
He says for same-sex people. So let's be realistic, Neil. I mean, we're all grown people out here. He's a grown guy. I'm an adult. You're an adult, right?
Right.
When you're talking about same-sex unions, you're talking about sexual unions, correct?
Yes.
So I disagree with his position, that position. I respect
But
it.
that's been documented that he never said that. It's not
He
been
didn't say
complete.
that? What did he say?
I don't know. I've been hearing hearsay. So it's still
Oh, you're saying he did not make that statement.
I'm not going to deny or not deny this until I get the right facts as a
I agree
reporter.
with you.
I won't
It
give
was
you my answer.
reported in an interview. Yeah, it wasn't an interview. I'll give you that. It was an interview, wasn't it?
Yes, no, a film, a
A media
documentary.
interview of some kind. And that if he makes a statement of faith, my understanding, you're Catholic, you would know better than me. I'm Lutheran, but my sister teaches in a Catholic
Right,
school, so I have some contact with
right,
Catholic thinkers. If he, the only way that he could say something official would be an official theological statement of some kind,
right, exactly.
as from the chair of St. Peter.
Yeah.
But he just gave
So
an interview.
an interview's not doctrine.
No, it's
So
not doctrine, is it?
no, it's not. But he's going to need to address it if it's true. But again, a lot of his stuff is interpreted incorrectly. So I would go back.
Well, apparently, let's say that this has happened before to this Pope. With all due respect, he's a very important person. I'm not. Okay, but he has been ran into difficulties, I think, with giving interviews and making statements that are possibly misstated.
That's correct.
He seems to do that, and maybe not such a good idea, because if he says anything, it's going to be quoted.
Yes, because he's the Pope. So you have to look at those different things and wait and hear. Is that our topic today? Or are we
No, our
going?
topic today is socialism and capitalism. Now,
Okay.
this is the issue in the election today.
Mhm.
Joe Biden has taken the position as a socialist, correct?
His party has, not him.
Well, and the President Trump, although I don't know, maybe he has socialist beliefs of his own. I don't know enough about him, but he seems to endorse capitalism.
Yes.
Well, that seems to be the issue in the election today.
Correct.
Now, let's take a look at socialism. Now, I'm saying socialism as an idea, I'll tell you this thing, Neil, It's a response to society's problems. It society Socialism wants to equalize as wealth, correct? It wants to create a classless society, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Now, for me, that idea, that's my opinion, Neil. I am a Christian. And I believe that socialism as an idea is closer to Christian ideal than capitalism. And socialism endorses or wants an equalization of wealth. And I think Christ wants that too. I think he does.
Christ wants
I
an
think so.
equalization of
I think
wealth.
the church wants equalization of wealth, don't you think?
Yeah. So that's socialist then.
Yeah, but it is socialism. And equalism educational opportunities and equal employment opportunities and equal schooling opportunities, etc. Equal medical care for everybody. And in a theoretical sense, these are good ideas, aren't they?
They are, but then there's people that'll uh, take advantage of that.
Well, that's it. It's been shown. Let me be fair to socialism. As an idea, it has its points. In theory, that's all I'm saying. But it has been proven over time in history it doesn't work. They tried. Communism is a little more radical form of socialism.
Right.
It didn't make it in Russia. They threw it out basically. It doesn't. Does it work in North Korea and Cuba?
Huh? North Korea and Cuba?
Cuba? Does communism a particularly successful system in
No.
those places?
No.
It's terrible. I mean, those people are in poverty. So, let's take a look at capitalism for a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And I think at a practical level, socialism doesn't work. That's my personal opinion. It is not a workable, successful system. Capitalism has its faults. Capitalism is kind of wants people to be. It's greed based. It's money based, isn't it?
Yes.
Or you might say it's greed based, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, so the true capitalist is not going to care about society.
No.
The true socialist is not going to care about wealth. So you have two.
Yes, you think capitalism is a good system because it results in people not caring about anybody but getting their money.
A social capitalist society, or a giving capitalist society, with the amount of wealth that they spread around leads to jobs, but could be overblown if only billionaires are the only ones with the wealth. So there could be a very situation.
Let's take a look. Realistically, who's got the power in this country, Neil? The entire cabinet are billionaires.
The wealth. The government first.
Extremely wealthy. Every senator is wealthy.
Well, that's because they use the stock market. They play the stock market.
Well, they're all wealthy, aren't they?
Yes, semi.
What about
that's the wealth of billionaires. None of them are billionaires.
Every one of them.
None of them are billionaires.
Who's running things, Neil?
But they're powerful. But the wealthy are powerful. Government first, then the wealthy.
But let's take a look at the cabinet. You know as well as I do. I like President Trump. I think he's a good chief executive in his decisions. As I indicated to you, I think he's done a lot of good things. But the bottom line is the entire cabinet and the entire Senate are millionaires.
Yeah, you got. I mean, millionaires, not billionaires. So
millionaires, at least millionaires.
Some are millionaires, meaning they've reached $1 million in 1 year.
Let me put it. Let's look at the facts, Neil. You like to look at the facts, don't you?
Yes.
You like to look at things that stare you.
So you're saying, so let's just say it becomes a socialist country. What happens to the wealthy Congress people?
Who is running things in the United States? The poor people?
No.
Do they have a chance to do much of anything?
No, unless it's capitalism.
So the people that have the power are the people with money.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
So all I'm saying is that's capitalism, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And capitalism is a harsh system because the people who don't make it, the poor people, are left in the street.
Yeah, what Pope Francis wrote and the Emeritus Benedict wrote about capitalism and the wrongs of capitalism. I think it was Emeritus Benedict.
Doesn't capitalism, doesn't it come down to this pure capitalism without controls, without a social network, is extremely harsh?
It is, yes, without some sort of government control. The other way
Control, right.
around, if you go socialism, you really eliminate the ability for people to make money for their
Well,
hard
that's
work.
it. So, do you think capitalism has this virtues? I believe in capitalism. I think it's the best system there is. I don't think socialism works too well. What do you think?
No, it doesn't work well, but it has worked
But it has been proved to be
because there's no
unsuccessful.
proven fact because people that are capitalists try to run a socialist society and they become
Well,
the capitalists and everyone else becomes
but
the poor.
the forms of power in socialism are different. It may not be money, but some people's got to get the power. I don't know who, but somebody in a socialist country gets power.
Yeah,
Wonder who they
somebody
are.
does. Somebody.
Somebody does.
So the choice is very simple. You want capitalism, you vote for Donald Trump. You want socialism, you vote for Joe Biden. Let me take a devil's advocate point of view.
All right, go ahead.
Let's just say you're certain industries, you're messed up if you're not in a capitalist society.
You're what?
But you're messed up. If you're
Yeah.
not in a capitalist society, certain businesses will not thrive
You have no
and will die.
opportunities. Let me
And
put
will
it
die.
in a socialist society, do people
But
have opportunities?
But let's just talk taxes. Let's
Right,
throw
go
out
ahead.
socialist and capitalism. You know, if Biden raises taxes by 15%, and somebody that's wealthy has to pay 15 to 20% more of their money, they make more money then, and then they still do it. And the way they make more money is that they have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And if you're in a certain industry, like the education industry, or you're a minority of some sort, you will get more grants under a higher taxed US, more hands-on US government than a government that is laissez-faire, hands-off. So based on that, if you have a good entrepreneurial mindset that can go and has multiple businesses and can figure out where's the wind going, that's where I'm going, or people who play the stock market, they will be fine with. And if we get rid of the name capitalism and socialism and look at Joe Biden's going to raise your taxes, bingo, he will. I had to just do that for.
You said he would.
But it wouldn't hurt if you do 20% of $100,000 versus let's say to 40% of $100,000. You're looking at $20,000 more paid to the government. So what do you have to do out of that $100,000? Make it $300,000. Then you will end up not losing and then shift your business based on that avenue. The worker will lose regardless, a capitalist society or a socialist society. Why? Because they will lose certain privileges. They will benefit in some ways and not benefit in other ways. But the wealthy will stay wealthy regardless of what system.
Right. Let me ask you this. Don't we really, in the United States, we don't live in a capitalist society. Don't we really live in an oligarchic society where the wealth is concentrated minutely in a few hands?
See, I disagree with you on that. No, I wouldn't say that. We're the wealthiest nation in the world.
Who's running things?
The government.
No. The government is a tool of the wealthy.
Correct. So an interesting conversation. We need to go further, Andrew, and I need to see your face. An interesting thing, Andrew, about that, but you can go to shackandshow.com for more information. Is that correct, Andrew?
Yes, we'll talk about this again. I think it's a key subject we got to discuss.
Shackandshow.com for more information, and we'll continue the conversation between capitalism.
Neil, fill me in as to what Pope Francis actually said.
Exactly. Well,
do you have that knowledge?
Yes, exactly. All right, good talking.
Do you believe he said?
Well, we'll talk about this because next week in the election. We'll talk about it because next week's in the election we're gonna find out. All right, Andrew. All right, guys, that was Andrew Shack and Show, guys. Take care.
I'm not a socialist.